But we're going to start out with a couple questions on humming. And the first question, Jonathan, if you're ready, is from a lovely person by the name of Nancy. Shall put on my glasses here. And Nancy asks, when I hum, do I need to use low tones for specific effects such as peace or joy? Or can I use any tone that sounds good to my ear? She says, so much is made of raising our vibrations to help the planet. If I need to tone low or high, I'd really appreciate knowing. So, Nancy, we're going to let you know right now. Jonathan, take this one away.
All right. Can I answer this in a few simple minutes? And I'd like to suggest that this question actually was phrased differently by a few different people.
Right.
And it had to do with the concept of raising our vibrations and the relationship of sound to this. I want to phrase it like that because raising our vibrations and frequencies of sound are not necessarily the same. Low sounds, deep sounds, are not necessarily, oh, I'm feeling low or blue or whatnot. And high sounds are not, oh, I'm feeling really happy and joyous. It's not. From many, many years of working with so many different venues of sound, I would like to suggest as an example, the Tibetan monks do a very, very deep sound, which is almost lower than any human has a right to make sound, and yet it is among the most sacred and luminescent vibroacoustic fields that can be created. And high frequency sounds, well, they can be very, very positive or not. It depends if you're listening to well, I won't even get into things that are not, because I don't like to do that, but there are many high sounds that are perhaps warnings or whatnot to get out of the way, and we may react differently. So I'd like to say that first and foremost, with regard to that, it seems to be mostly what we've always talked about, Andi, the fabulous formula.
The fabulous formula, frequency plus intent equals healing. So knowing what your intention is really is vital when you're making any tones at all. So,
really, just more thoughts on that for a moment is the fact that depending upon who you are and what you need, it's just so very, very important. The field that we create with our sound is so, if you like, entangled with our consciousness, that therefore, if we have a belief that a specific sound is going to create a specific effect, well, odds are that that's going to happen. But if we're kind of open, or we realize that we can literally encode any sound with any sort of effect, that can happen. And the last thing I want to say, just with regard to this, is that there's a phenomenon called harmonics, which means that when we hit a note, there's a whole series of notes that occur. So when the Tibetan do this very, very deep sound, they're also creating these really high harmonics. So it's actually a combination of all these different things, plus the encodement, the sacred encodement of intentionality that creates, whether it's raising our vibrations or not.